This afternoon we are in probably one of the most stunning lookout spots along the Sand River here, and below me over there is a colony of white-fronted bee-eaters nesting in the riverbanks here. So we're going to drop down into the river, try and get some shots and some footage of them in this incredible golden afternoon light. So we're going to drop down here, hopefully we'll get some decent shots, but they all come down and roost on some of these branches and roots sticking out of the bank. So hopefully we can get across there and get some pretty cool shots. So the white-fronted bee-eaters are strongly gregarious in that they love to hang around in these larger social groups. They will form a monogamous mating pair where they will mate for life. And these nests are now excavated into an exposed alluvial bank or a riverbank like this. They'll dig in about 1 meter to 1.5 meters, and at the end of that they'll have a little chamber where they will then roost at night as well. The female, well, they'll both then tend to line the inside of this chamber with some soft vegetation as well as some feathers, making it a little bit more comfortable in there. And throughout the breeding season they will then obviously incubate their eggs inside there. By living in these larger groups, it obviously provides a bit of social company, but also having a lot more lookouts and essentially help in raising the youngsters and protecting against any danger. And by nesting in the banks like this, it makes it a little bit more difficult for any intruders or any danger to get into those nests. So it is always a fantastic little spectacle coming across here in the late afternoon as the sun's setting, the golden glow illuminating the bank here. And plus just the ambient sound of being down by the river. You can hear the gentle trickle of the river in the background, all the crickets and riverine insects all starting to make a little bit of noise. And then of course you've got the chorus of all of these white-fronted bee-eaters chatting away as they then hawk out and go and try and catch some insects before returning back to their roost where they have been sitting on these protruding roots and branches from the bank. But as you can see, sun is setting and it's probably time that I head back up to the vehicle and we start moseying on back home. But what a great way to finish off yet another day in the African wilderness. And I hope you've enjoyed spending some time with a colony of white-fronted bee-eaters at their nesting site here. So after a pretty epic start to our afternoon with the bee-eaters along the Sand River, or I guess end of the afternoon because the sun was setting, we then decided to take a slow bumble along the Maxabene River in the hopes of finding the Nkoveni Female and her 2 cubs. And sure enough, as we dropped down into the Maxabene, there were some monkeys alarm calling. We drove around the corner and found the trio all moving along on the southern bank. Of course, the cubs couldn't help themselves and they were then going up into the tree chasing after these monkeys, but of course we know just how at home monkeys are in the trees, that they were eluding these leopard cubs, who of course were having a lot of fun chasing after them. The mother was just resting down on the bank. Before eventually leading them away in the riverbed or in the river sand, which that scene in itself was amazing. before they then eventually got to Shingi Dam for a drink. And seeing all three of them then drop down for a drink in the late afternoon gloaming glow, as the light was fading, it was just this incredible colour shining across on them. So it couldn't have got much better with that happening. They then moved on to go and settle down on a termite mound, and just gave us a chance to really appreciate how well the Nkoveni female is doing as a mother, having got these cubs to this point. Obviously the road is nowhere near over and the journey is a long one ahead of them, but she's done a great job so far of getting 2 out of her 3 cubs to this age, and to have been able to be along on that journey the whole way through has been an incredible experience. And we can't wait to see what happens in the future going forward, because these cubs are growing into phenomenal little mini versions of their mother, and she is a spectacular female who is an efficient hunter, as all leopards are, but she has really just etched her name in our memories. So I hope you're enjoying this virtual safari and this little afternoon with the bee eaters and the Nkoveni trio. It's always amazing spending some time out here in the wilderness, and if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell icon, and we'll keep you in the loop with some more of these amazing stories. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that and head back to camp. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again next week.